Rare anti-government protests in Cuba have claimed one life. More than 100 people, including journalists and high-profile activists, have been arrested so far. Thousands of Cubans have joined demonstrations throughout the communist-run country since Sunday to protest against a deep economic crisis. The nation has seen shortages of basic goods and power outages. People are also protesting against the government's handling of the coronavirus pandemic and curbs on civil liberties. Cuba's government has said the demonstrations were orchestrated by counter-revolutionaries financed by the United States. Cuba's Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez admitted that the country is going through difficulties.
La economía cubana sufre un impacto extremo con el apretón oportunista, cruel y deliberado del bloqueo, utilizando como aliada a la pandemia, al virus, y en segundo lugar por las condiciones de la economía internacional.
Introduced just over 2 years ago, mobile internet has been a key factor behind the protests. But after the widespread protests, Cuba has restricted access to social media and messaging platforms including Facebook and WhatsApp. U.S. State Department spokesman Ned Price called on the Havana government to open all means of communication, both online and offline. With unrest at home, several Cubans are trying to flee the island nation into the United States. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has warned that would-be migrants from Cuba would not be allowed inside the country.
With our state, local, and federal partners are monitoring any activity that may indicate increases in unsafe and irregular maritime migration in the Florida Straits, including unpermitted vessel departures from Florida to Cuba.
In Miami, which has long been home to the largest Cuban exile community, demonstrators waving Cuban flags called for change on the communist-run island. They blocked a major highway and staged protests in support of the wave of demonstrations in Cuba.
It started because we're tired of communism, we're tired of the government mistreating our people. I have family in Cuba that suffer every day, and we need to go out in the streets because the Cuban people see this and they get hope. They realize, look, they're fighting for us. That's what we want. We want them to know the fight is not over, you are not alone. That's what we need them to understand.
Meanwhile, the reaction to the protest in Latin America split along ideological lines. Mexico has blamed the U.S. embargo for fomenting the unrest, while Chile and Peru urged the government to allow pro-democracy protests. Havana blames the show of discontent on the United States. It says that U.S. is pursuing a policy of economic suffocation to provoke social unrest in the country. But Washington pointed the finger at decades of repression in the one-party communist state. Cuba has been under U.S. sanctions since 1962.